So welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were having a conversation with Mrs. Minor and Kingsley, who are in the first and second generation of their family business, which is Muki Good Hope Group of Schools. And right now I'm having the pleasure of having Rupen Shah, who's the CEO of Victoria Court, that are in their third generation of business. So how were you inculcated into the business?
I've been in the business from the age of 5, right? Every school holiday, I used to complain, all my friends used to get to enjoy holiday and play and all of that, but my dad would say, no, you need to come to business. So from a very young age, I was very much ingrained into the business, and slowly as I grew older, I was given more and more responsibilities. And then I did that up till what I'll say university level. And then at university level, that's when I sort of went overseas to pursue my further education in the UK, and thereafter I got a job there in the UK. So I'll say I was there out of the business for a good 13, 14 years. And then around 12 years ago, you know, my dad, he gave me a call saying, look, Rupen, I need you to join the family business again. And we need new energy, we need you know, a level of expertise and everything to help take the business to the next level. So formally again, I joined the business, it's just been over 12 years now.
Coming back, were you forced into it? Did Dad force you into it? Did he give you a bit? How did you get into it, back into the business?
The family business is so powerful, it's a legacy. You know, it's my grandfather's legacy. And the way I look at it is, my grandfather, he started with 0. When he came to Kenya, he had 10 shillings in his pocket. And the hardships and the struggles he went to try and create what he's created is amazing. But he took the business from here to here. My father, there's 7 brothers within the business, and they took it fantastically well from here to there. And so it was also a conscious decision, as much as I say it's emotional blackmail, but the vision I have, the passion I have is, let's keep on living, making sure the legacy lives on. So it's for me to take the business from there to the greatest heights possible. So yes, partly emotional blackmail, but also a desire to make sure this legacy lives on.
When I was having the conversation earlier on with Mrs. Minor and Kingsley, they were in that particular phase whereby they're trying to structure the business to ensure that they have adequate shares to protect their interest in the family business. As in the Victoria Furniture Group, how exactly have you gone about it in terms of distribution of shares amongst the children and the siblings? Because I know right now it's so huge.
What I'll say is, when a family business or any business is in its infancy, it's very much structures and all that is very sort of secondary. In the earlier days, a lot of the shareholding was within my father's name and let's say brother number 2. But it was always assumed that all 7 brothers had an equal shareholding. So taking it back, I think when I came to Kenya and expecting, having worked in the UK and having seen things done very professionally, when I joined the family business, it was very murky. There was a lot of, you know, assumed things. So one of the things which we did is a lot of what I call professionalization of the family business. And one particular thing is around structures. You know, how do we have clear structures in terms of shareholder, ownership, etc. And we also have a shareholder agreement in place, which is very clear. If you want to join the business, this is what you can do. If you want to leave the business, this is what you can do.
And how have you managed to handle the conflicts? Because it started off, it was your granddad and your grandma, and then 7 siblings, and then it has spread. I'm sure it's quite a number right now.
We've changed the whole family business into 3 key components. So the first component is family. The second component is the business, and then the third component is shareholders. In the family, we have mechanisms in place to ensure, you know, our bonding and everything is fantastic. So we have monthly get-togethers, we have quarterly get-togethers. We have a mandatory family retreat, which takes place every 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Right? We have written down what we call a family constitution, which really lists down all the rules and regulations of what a family is entitled to and what it is not. And that has, and if you have conflicts or so, we have a mechanism, we have a family council in place, which is very similar to a board of directors. For a business, you have a family council, which is then able to handle all the family conflicts. So that is everything to do with the family. And you may be in the family, but you may not be in the business. So that sort of helps resolve some issues. Shareholder is another component which we split out. And that's very much around, if you had shares in Safaricom, how would you be expecting? As a shareholder, your 2 key expectations are, I want my value to grow, and I want dividends for my investment. And that's the different mindset you need to establish. If you've put shares into this business, whether it's a family business, what do you expect? And then the third component is actually the business. And like any professional business, you need to have mechanisms in place of how will you handle employee disputes. What we believe is you can't typically have too many alpha males because again egos and everything come into place. So the way it's worked really well for our family is rather than fighting in the same turf, we're trying to grow the cake. So since I came, we started Victoria Courts, which handles home furniture. Another cousin of mine who's joined the business, he handles Uganda. Another cousin, he started serviced offices. Another cousin, he's looking at a designer furniture, looking at kitchens and wardrobes.
And it is perceived that the Asian community is very good in terms of handling family businesses. What exactly do you think is the secret to that?
I think culturally we're very much, the culture is very much based around family. So if when I was growing up, the 7 brothers lived in one house. As brother number 1, 2, 3, 4, we still stayed in the same house. I look at my cousins as brothers and sisters, so we have that sort of bond. So I think it's the value system which is developed, and it's the core values which we bring up which keeps us together. The second thing, again, culturally, is very much in our culture that it is expected that you'll join the business. I think that helps, but generations are changing, times are changing. So I would say yes, there's something about the Asian community and culture which helps, but I don't think it's exclusive to that, because some of the best family businesses around the world are not from an Asian community necessarily. You've got people like Ford, you've got the Waltons running Walmart. It's how do you maintain and how do you nurture that going forward?
And maybe just from your experience being in the business and being at the helm of part of the subsidiary on the Victoria Group, maybe just your final remarks with regards to your thoughts on any particular entrepreneur watching this who's looking forward to maybe transitioning their business to the other generation. What do they need to consider?
Family businesses are tough, but if you harness the power of family businesses, you can achieve greatness. And what I would say is, if you plan for succession, whether it's in terms of shareholding, whether it's in terms of being the CEO of the business or whatever, if all of that is planned for, you can achieve wonders. So what I would say is, take the power, take the strength, take the unity of the family and harness that and plan for the succession so that you can go to greater heights, rather than being in a scenario whereby actually it's the lawyer who's enjoying all the fruits.
Quite an interesting note to end this particular conversation around family business. The power lies in the family, and you've just seen from this particular conversation a first generation, second generation and a third generation, and Rupen has quite summed it quite well. The power lies in the family. So on that particular note, we're going to end this show at this particular point. My name is Ian Dennis, and this has been The Business Coach, where we help entrepreneurs better their businesses.